Hey guys, today we're doing something slightly different, a line that I have never touched before. Not since the original Kenner days have I had figures and toys from this particular movie line. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of Mattel's new Jurassic World offerings. This is the INDORAPTOR. So if you've seen the trailers, it's kind of the big bad dinosaur in the movie. On the price tag, it was actually called Villain Dino. So we've got the INDORAPTOR here, and this is kind of the standard box for these. They're kind of, most of them are all kind of open air boxes, so there's nothing surrounding the dinosaur. You can reach in and touch him if you so choose, and it's just held in by straps and on the bubble there. But I do like this packaging. It kind of gives the look of it being inside of a cage. It's mass market packaging. It's definitely not really collector friendly, but I'm okay with it. And then on the back we've got some product shots of the dino. Not really any kind of write-up or anything, and a little bit of a cross-sell down here at the bottom. So yeah, let's just pull this guy out and see what he's got. Alright guys, so here is the INDORAPTOR out of its packaging. And like I said, this is a line that I really wasn't expecting to get into. It wasn't until the hype started to build online that I saw how many people were really going after this line and how many people were really interested in getting their hands on these toys that I thought, you know what? It's been probably 20 plus years since I had a dinosaur toy that I cared about at all. Let's try it out. Let's see what these have to offer. And I gotta say, I'm actually pretty pleasantly surprised, especially when you take price point into consideration. There is a lot going on here. Not to mention the fact that they just look cool, and I'm definitely interested to see what else this line has to offer when I can get my hands on some of these toys. So this is the INDORAPTOR, and it, as best as I can tell, and the spoilers have already long since come and gone, because Jurassic World is one of those movies where they don't let anything be hidden in the trailers. We know that this is kind of the big raptor, the big bad in the film. So, and not to mention the fact, like I said, that the tag itself called the dinosaur Villain Dino. So you kind of get an idea of what's going on here. But it's a pretty cool looking dinosaur. This is a really, really big toy too. So this is one that falls at the $20-ish price range. So you might get a $19-ish, depending on where you go. But just for, you know, size sake, he is like 14 inches long. And just in kind of a standard raptor pose, he is about 8 inches tall. Not to mention the fact that if you rear him up on his legs, he's going to break 10, 11 inches. So there is a lot going on here. There is a lot of plastic that they're packing into a relatively decent price point. And I think Mattel's done a really solid job kind of bringing dinosaurs back to mass market. And I know a lot of folks are out there saying that they have absolutely destroyed Hasbro's previous offering. And while I don't really have any firsthand experience with them, I know, having seen them personally, that these definitely do look really, really nice. So this guy has a lot of sculpted detail going on here. There's a decent bit of articulation, and obviously there is a bit of size to him as well, but he does have some interesting paint apps, which we'll talk about. So as far as articulation goes, the head has a double ball peg system. So the head itself is ball pegged. The neck is ball pegged at what would be the shoulder, basically. The jaw is articulated. I mean, you can't have a dinosaur without having a hinged jaw. That would be just some sort of toy crime, I think. We've got hinged shoulders, which also rotate, single joint at the elbow, hinged and rotating wrists. We have got rotating and hinged thighs. They don't go out too far, but they do flay out a little bit. We've got hinges at the knees. We've got hinges at the ankles, so they're kind of that backwards type ankle. And then you do have to build this guy, so to speak. You have to put the tail on. The final piece of the tail, this is a ball peg that fits into a socket, kind of deep set in here. And it is meant to be kind of curled downwards as well, so keep that in mind. But it has a little bit of a rotation, side to side, quite a bit of movement, and then the where the tail kind of meets the back of the creature as well has that same kind of up and down, side to side motion, movement. So yeah, he's got quite a bit of articulation, more so than I had originally expected, honestly. So I'm pretty happy with how he turns out in terms of what you can do to make him look a little more menacing by putting him into cool poses. As far as the sculpt and the paint and the overall look and feel of this guy, I think the idea that he is a black, like midnight dark black raptor really hammers home the fact that this is definitely not a dinosaur that you want to mess with. He has a tremendous amount of sculpted detail. All of the scales are sculpted throughout the body. They vary in size and shape and overall texture as well. So they're definitely different. It's not one uniform texture that is just cast from head to toe. The scales do change shape a little bit here and there, so they're not exactly the same. We do have kind of a, what would you say, spines, hair, feathers type situation that are going on the crest of the head as well as down the middle of the back, and there are larger scales that run down from the neck to the tail. He also has some sculpted feathers on the arms, mostly on the forearms here, just, you know, give it that whole dinosaurs are birds type thing that has been hammered home in the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies for years. The head sculpt I think is pretty nice. It's fairly imposing. I think without going into too much detail, I think the expectation here, based on what I know, is that this is a raptor T-Rex of some kind or something like that. So it very much has the raptor body shape and it looks like a raptor, but it's obviously rather large. And I think once I get some of the other raptor figures, I'll see exactly how much bigger this guy truly is. But then his head is very reminiscent of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So you've got that cool, sleek, agile Velociraptor kind of body with the telltale awesome T-Rex head, and I'm pretty happy with the mashup there. I think it's a good idea. We've got a decent bit of paint on this guy, not tons and tons of it, but where it has it, I think it's implemented pretty well, and I think it's got it where it counts. So we've obviously got the tongue painted inside the mouth. We've got the kind of red eyes, which has a little bit of a, I don't know what you would call that, a little bit of a feathering of paint that goes backwards from the eye itself onto the head. And then, of course, obviously the big thing is this predominant gold stripe that runs down the dinosaur from the neck to the tail. And of course, that is prominent on both sides. But what I don't think is really going to come through on the video is that there is a speckling paint job that goes through pretty much the entire body of this dinosaur. It's very light and it's very minimal, but all over the legs and the tail and the arms and the chest, you can see little gold flaking all over this guy. I'm not really sure what the intended purpose of that is. You know, I suppose we will see when the movie comes out, but I like it. It adds a little bit of depth, a little bit of flair to the paint job. It brings out the body a little bit more rather than it just being cast in this flat black plastic. So it's nice to see a little bit more attention to detail in that regard, just to at least bring it a little bit more to life without just throwing paint all over the thing. So at the end of the day, for what this figure represents, a $20 dinosaur figure in a mainstream mass market kid-focused line of toys, Mattel absolutely has a winner on their hands. There is no doubt about it. I am very happy to see a dinosaur line on toy shelves that I'm personally interested in. My daughter's finally getting into dinosaurs, so we're going to kind of go down that road anyway. But it's fun to see toys that she and I can interact with, and they aren't going to break the bank. They do look cool, and they have a tremendous play factor, not to mention the fact that some of these figures are absolutely massive. So I'm really looking forward to digging into this line, probably more than I should, but that's what I do. So that's going to do it for this look at the Jurassic World Indoraptor figure from Mattel. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and until next time.